Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. This is your future free potato, JustAPotato, and welcome to another video of Cosmic Frontiers. And in this episode, we will have our blast electric furnace, our electric blast furnace upgraded. In the last episode, we entered into MV and managed to get our first chemical reaction going, that is chromium. In total, we have 93 chromium dust, and some of them I've already turned into Kanthal, which I have 129 Kanthal dust, which is a lot. It's very nice. I think this one should be enough for only one set of coils, and that's enough for our one and only EBF. However, in the last episode, we had a small gate that we had to solve, and that is getting our first MV energy hatches. So in order to get Kanthal, we need the electric blast furnace. We can do it with copper-nickel coils, but we need an HV overclock. Right now our EBF only supports 2 LV energy hatches. That means one full lamp of MV, which is what we are providing it with right now. So we need to upgrade the energy overclock of this multi-block into HV. That means that we need 2 MV energy hatches for this EBF, and that's what we are going to be doing in this episode. But before that, there is a small change of plans. So my main idea to tackle MV was to make Kanthal, Polyethylene, and then the circuit assembler. But there are a couple of things that I didn't take into consideration. The first one, for Kanthal, that I needed the MV energy hatches to upgrade our EBF. That means that we do need a better way of generating energy, because this will take a lot of energy, which we don't have right now. Polyethylene, we can do it very easy. It's only sulfuric acid with some ethanol, so there is no problem with that. The next problem is that to get the circuit assembler, we need these chips, and for these chips, to get the basic integrated circuits and the good integrated circuits, so getting the advanced integrated circuit, we need some cyanide lens. The cyanide, this one here, is a ether gem, so we need to visit first the ether. The other thing is that after doing all of this, I wanted to start producing some source diesel, which would be the staple energy generation for MV onwards. However, I think there is a better option, and that is benzene. So in regular GregTech progression, what you regularly do for energy, as far as I'm concerned, is first you go from steam to petrochemistry, that means getting diesel, to benzene, to nitrobenzene, and then to energy through the plasma donuts things. I think that's the regular basic GregTech generation energy. And if you want, you can put some nuclear energy in somewhere there. Here in Cosmic Frontiers, there is the option to use source diesel, which is a combination between ethanol and source oil extract, which is done with mage bloom and potent mana. And potent mana is a botania thing. So it is not complicated, it is very easy to try to figure out how to automatize all of that. But I think benzene is way more simpler than that, and it is easier to scale, at least right now in this stage that we are. So for source diesel, we need ethanol, we need source oil extract, from which we need mage bloom, we need sodium hydroxide, from which we need salt water, from which we need salt sprout. In all of these processes, there are a lot of byproducts that can be recycled. So it is simple to understand, but a bit complex to implement, at least from what I can understand from all of this process. Benzene, on the other hand, it is quite simple. So you just need wood tar. Wood tar we can get from extracting charcoal or from the pyrolyzed oven. And then we would only need a lot of wood. We do get a lot of wood from this create contraption, which gives us a lot of wood. You can see there is a large amount here backed up, and everything here we are just pouring it right now into these coke ovens bricks. Sorry, these coke ovens. The problem with this crate farm also is that it is not reliable, as it depends on the random tick growth of the trees. So this is not something that it is 100% for sure that it will grow a tree every, for example, 5 seconds. There is also this industrial arboreal growth chamber, this big multi-block, which basically gives wood from any sapling. But again, the problem is that this is not very very realistic for us. It is an HP receipt, and even if it is an HP, it is a large multi-block and it uses energy. So instead of using the power of Create or the power of GregTech, we are going to be using the power of Ars Nouveau to produce a lot, and I mean a lot of wood. But with that said, let's start with everything that we have to do in order to get our first energy hatches. So the first thing we will do is, of course, polyethylene. So polyethylene is just ethanol with some sulfuric acid, and after 1 minute we should be getting 1 bucket of ethylene and 1 bucket of diluted sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid, very simple to start. We just need some sulfur trioxide and water. Sulfur trioxide from sulfur dioxide and oxygen, and sulfur dioxide from oxygen with some sulfur. Very simple, we did this on the last episode. And that's how we get ethylene and diluted sulfuric acid. This diluted sulfuric acid, we will be able to recycle this into sulfuric acid with a distillery. In the future, whenever we get a distillation tower, this will be more efficient. But for now we have this ethylene, and this ethylene, what we have to do is just combine it with some oxygen to get a liquid polyethylene, which is what we are looking for. And that's ethylene. Now the ethylene, we only have to mix it with a lot of oxygen. Is 1 bucket of oxygen per each. Wait, no, wait. Wrong number. Wrong circuit number. We don't want acetic acid. So we need to combine it with a lot of oxygen. Is 1 bucket of oxygen per each 144 millibuckets of ethylene. But that's how we get the best ratio of polyethylene from it. And we do have a lot of oxygen. I still have three aluminum cells full of carbon dioxide. So yeah, we have a lot of oxygen to spare, and that's how we get polyethylene. Anyway, while that's doing, let's also start doing something that needs some time. So let's finish this for now, and let's drop here some. Where is it? Some silicon with gallium arsenide. And this after 450 seconds, so more than 5 minutes. We will be getting our first silicon bowl. This silicon bowl, we will be using this a lot from now on, especially to make these chips. But we also need these silicon bowls in order to make our first energy hatches. For that we need an wool pig chip, which we need an wool pig wafer. For this we need a silicon wafer with a blue lens. From this we need to cut the monocrystalline silicon bowl. So yeah, 450 seconds, a lot of time. This is enough for 3 crafts. For 3 crafts. So yeah, let's hope we get what we need. Now we want polyethylene for 2 things. First, with this we can do resistors, which is needed for the advanced circuits, for the advanced integrated circuits. But we also need polyethylene to make machine casings cheaper. Sorry, these machine hools cheaper. So with me I have materials for a lot of machine casings. And remember that for each machine casing, to convert it into machine hool, apart from this, we also need 2 plates of rough iron and one plate of either steel or aluminum. So instead, we can save that. It's not that much, but we can save that if we combine these two with some polyethylene. And we get the machine holes. Of course, it consumes a bit of polyethylene, but as you can see, it is easy to craft, so there is no problem. Now, in order to get our MV energy hatches, there are some extra machines that we need to craft. The first thing is that we need a basic sifter. So I've put a miner on the nether to get some emeralds. There is right here. We have 111 emeralds. These ones we should be able to macerate them. So let's throw it here. And after 20 seconds, we should be getting raw emerald. Now this crushed emerald ore, what we have to do is to wash it. This will take 10 seconds. And the purified emerald, what we have to do is to sift this, which will take 20 seconds. And we will get a chance to get any of those outputs there. So any kind of those emeralds. We are looking for the flawless emerald, which has a 15% chance of outputting. So there is another machine that we actually need, and that is the advanced cutter. That is the upgraded version of this cutter here. However, for this we need vanadium steel boost saw blade. For this we need vanadium steel. And this is very simple as well. We need steel, vanadium, and chromium. We have a lot of vanadium magnetite. This one we should be able to centrifuge this for vanadium. Now in reality we really don't need that much vanadium steel, but I would like to do a bunch, especially to upgrade our tools. These little tools, they last a lot, but vanadium steel, it will last much more. Now on circuit number 2, if we throw this after 54 seconds, so 1 minute almost, we should be getting our first piece of vanadium steel. And we actually already have our monocrystalline silicon wool. Now the other machine that we need is the advanced laser engraver. And for this we need one MV emitter. For the MV emitter we needed the flawless emerald. That's why I wanted the sifter. And with this we can craft the advanced laser engraver. Now we should have enough vanadium steel for a vanadium steel gear. And now this gear we only have to throw it on the lathe. And that's how we get our vanadium steel boost saw blade. Now with this we should have our advanced cutter, which we can throw it right here. Let's not auto output stuff, please. Now I'll steal some lubricant from here. And let's throw the lubricant here. What we can do now is start cutting our monocrystalline silicon wool. It will take 20 seconds. And that's our silicon wafers. Now we do need some sapphire lenses. Sapphire lenses. For that we need a sapphire plate and a lathe. And after 60 seconds we will be getting our sapphire lens, which we will be using to cut the silicon wafer into Ulpic silicon Ulpic wafers. We only need one. And this one we can cut it into Ulpic chips. That's the lens. And that's the Ulpic wafer, which we need to cut it. And that's how we get our Ulpic chips. Now in order to get the energy patches, we also need medium voltage coils, which should be pretty much simple. Just find aluminum wire and magnetic steel rods. And that's how we get our medium voltage coils. Now this we can use them on 3 MV energy hatches. Very nice. Now before setting up all of the paralyzed oven setup for the benzene, we need to get a lot of wood. That great wood farm, it won't work. I mean, it could work, but I want a more reliable source of wood. And for that we have Ars Nouveau. It is fairly simple how all of this Ars Nouveau setup works. But before that we have to understand how the Archwood saplings work. Now before I forgot, all of this setup I have to give credit to the Enigmatica Discord on the Enigmatica 9 Expert channel. One of the members just put a random like kind of video of a Ars Nouveau Archwood farm that was very crazy. That person done it on a 1-tick clock. So basically you get a lot of wood from it. And it is very crazy. He also kind of explained how all of this works. So I'll do my best to explain that in video. So thanks to the Enigmatica Discord. The first thing is that we need to understand how these Archwood saplings grow. So if we grab one Archwood, it will grow a 4x4 trunk from one single sapling. However, we need to understand how these saplings works and into what direction. So if we plant one sapling, this is the first position of the sapling. We have to understand that the trunk will work to that side right there, to the east-south, to the southeast. So if we grow the tree, this is the initial position. The trunk will always grow to this side here. It will never grow into this side. You will have these logs here to spare. The main trunk will always grow to that side. Imagine we plant a sapling here. The trunk will always grow to that side there. Maybe we plant it right here. The same, it will grow to that side. It will never grow into this side. Now, having that understand, we need to inscribe into a parchment paper 2 spells. The first one will be this touch, fail, AoE, 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 AoE. We just shift right click. And this spell parchment will have this spell right here. The second spell will be a touch, place block, grow, 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 grow. The same, shift right click, and we have this spell page parchment. We could use a third spell to collect all of the items, but we are going to do something different, especially because this consumes source. And I don't have a robust source production right there. Now, how do you understand that? Now it's time to place all of the things that we're going to be needing. The setup only requires 2 spell turrets. If you want one extra spell that will recollect the blocks, you need a third one. But I'll just be using 2. Both of them will be pointing to the direction in which the sapling will be placed. In this case, I want the sapling to be placed right here. So I'll have both spell turrets pointing into that direction. One right there and one right there. One of these spell turrets, in this case for me, will be this one. We'll place the sapling and grow it. And the second spell turret will cut the whole tree. Now in this block right here, what we want is a recollection system. In my case, I'll be using some barrels from sophisticated storage, which I will augment them with an advanced magnet and a void upgrade. The magnet, I'll filter it for Benzene Archwood logs, which is the log that we will be farming. And the void upgrade, what I'll do is void overflow it. Sorry, no, forget the void upgrade. We don't want to void things here. There is a second barrel I want to put, and it's this one right here, next to the spell turret that will place the sapling. The same, we'll put a magnet upgrade, and in this case I do want a void upgrade, which void overflow. Iron barrel, what we'll do is grab the saplings, sticks, and tea leaves. Now before doing anything else, let's put some piping here, and let's put a conveyor belt. This will import into the system all of the logs that will be recollected from here. And what we can do now is do the clock that will activate both the turrets. The redstone clock will be a very simple clock. That is the clock. It's this simple. Ideally, I would like to put it a bit more to this side. So I want to extend the redstone to these two spell turrets. If we set this comparator into subtractor mode and we give some redstone signal, as you can see, it will do kind of tick-tack, tick-tack, tick-tack. This one, we can make it even slower if we want, or even more slower. I'll leave it like this at a 2-tick delay, and we'll turn off this for now. So the turrets will cast the spell once they get a redstone signal. You can do this, so you can have a 1-tick redstone clock and make this super fast, but we don't need super fast right now, especially because both of these turrets will consume a lot of source. That's why I have them at encutted level, so they consume a bit less of source. Now, we only want this to produce wood whenever we need some wood for the paralyzed oven, so that's why we are going to be using a threshold switch. This threshold switch, what we'll do is read the inventory of this gold barrel, and we will do so it emits a signal whenever it is at 20% full, and we'll stop emitting the signal whenever it is at 80% full. I think that's going to be a good number. And we will set a redstone link. Same thing, we also set a redstone link here. And we can set this into receiving mode. And the last thing that we need to set up is source. So I'm really not sure if this can be a self-sufficient, if this farm can be self-sufficient. I don't think so, because it consumes a lot of source. But what we can do is grab and, for example, put some, not here. We can put a volcanic source link. This will create source from any burnable item. We can grab more item pipes. This won't look good. It looks horrifying, but it will work. That's what matters. So we will set up some pedestals there. We can put one conveyor belt here. Not again. We also want to import, but in this case we want to round robin. And this should be everything. We should be ready to just start the farm. So what we can do is grab one source jar. We can put it right here, for example. So it is also inside the range of the volcanic source link. And what we'll do is put this into receive. Okay, I think it cannot grow because of this. And that's why it is not planting it. Let me move this just a bit. So can this grow now? Yes, now it can grow. Always make sure that your tree can grow. Now we should be able to just put a source jar here. Then just connect this into the barrel. Set the conveyor belt again. And what we can do now is just activate the clock. Why is it not working? I might remember what's the problem. And I think this happened also in Enigmatica 9 Expert while I was playing. So if we go here to settings, yes, allow all fake players. This should be on true. So we are inside a loaded a claim chunk. So by default, fake players cannot do any action. I suppose the spell turret counts as a fake player, so that's why they cannot set saplings or cut trees. But now, if we turn on this, yes, now it works. And yes, as you can see, this consumes a lot of a lot of source. But we also get a lot of wood from this. That is very nice. Of course, there is a lot of logs around here, and as you saw, this is crazy. This is crazy. It produces a lot of wood. And fairly quick. So what we'll do is grab some source from here. We should have a large backup of source berries by now. Yes, a very large. Why are these guys not recollecting anything? And now we should be able just to leave this one working. Like this. We can even slow this a bit. So we also get some time to use this volcanic source link to produce more source. But we also have the source berry farm that will produce us also more source for that. And as you can see, it is already off. Yes. Very nice, very nice, very nice, very nice. As you can see, really good farm and fairly cheap. With this we can start producing some benzene. Finally. I might bring one star bungle to grab all of the remaining items here. I should do that. And I'll do that. Now it is time to set up some benzene. Now of course this setup for benzene, I'll change it in the future. Maybe I'll be using benzene up to EV or IV. We will be able to craft a thundering boosted source diesel at EV. And this is going to be a way better energy generation source, as 1 millibucket will produce 3200 EU. So yes, maybe at EV we will change to source diesel into the thunder boosted version, but I think we can survive with benzene up to EV, and I think that's going to be the plan, because benzene is very simple to produce. Again, this is not going to be the final setup for benzene. I'll most likely try to use the setup that is regularly used for New Horizons, that is the Shadows of Ed's benzene setup, which is a huge thing. I'll try to, if not use the same setup, try to adapt it to Cosmic Frontiers. So yeah, I'll try to adapt it, but we will do a proper benzene setup in the future, not now. For now, I just want to start up all of this blast furnace thing and all of my machines. So we really don't need anything fancy. So everything should be just fine right now. So the way we will be getting benzene is through burning some wood in the paralyzed oven. This will give us charcoal and wood tar. We have to put it on the circuit number 10, not 2. So this will give us, on circuit number 10, using 16 logs and 1 bucket of nitrogen, will give us 20 charcoal and 1 bucket and a half of wood tar. Charcoal, we can directly extract it for more wood tar. So basically at the end we would be having 3 buckets and a half of wood tar. Wood tar, we can distill it into benzene with circuit number 3 on distillery. And benzene we can directly distribute it to the places that we want to have it. So circuit number 3. The only thing that we have to do is give this some wood, from which we get from the Archwood farm we've just set up. Now I also need some nitrogen to start up this paralyzed oven, running perfectly. In 16 seconds we should be getting our first pieces of charcoal. So this doesn't round robin by default, so we have to wait a bit so all of the buffers fill up. But as you can see, we are producing a lot of wood tar, which is being converted into benzene, which is being also transferred into these two gas turbines, which are charging this battery buffer right here. As you can see, we are gaining on energy. We also have here another gas turbine, which is powering this gas collector, which should be producing some air, and the air is going to be outputted into this advanced centrifuge, which will give some more nitrogen, and that's all of the process. And I think I'll add one more one more of these extractors, because as you can see, it is not keeping up, and we are still we still have a lot of wood. So yeah, at the end, everything is very nice. Everything is very nice. Now with this, we should be able to craft our seats. Well, 4. Why I thought I made 4 seats. Anyway, 4 gas turbines generators. So we can come down here and start disassembling everything here. We can replace those hatches by these MV ones. Let's grab 2 cables. Now we can use these advanced ones. Make sure the output is on the cables. And now we only have to connect the benzene into this. What I'll do is buffer just a bit of benzene. I really don't need to buffer that much. Now the output for this kind of barrels is down here. So we will do something very weird. Something like this. Let's connect that. We're connecting also to the back. Nice. And what we only have to do right now is connect the benzene to the barrel. There is it. And now we are producing MV energy with benzene. And now we should be able to use our blast furnace up to HV. Nice. Now what we should be able to do is grab our Kanthal and just throw it in here. Let's do 16 at a time. And after 30 seconds, we should be getting a hot Kanthal ingot. And it seems we are producing more than we are consuming, so this is basically sustainable. Now I will steal some distilled water from here, and what we'll do is grab some of the hot Kanthal. Of course, it is hot, that's why we're burning. And let's put it here on the chemical bath with some distilled water. And after 30 seconds, we should be getting our first Kanthal ingot. And there is it. We've got Kanthal. Nice. Look at that. Now it's just me and waiting for all of the Kanthal to cook. So these ones are the last ingots of Kanthal that we will need for one set of coils. So let's turn them into wires. Now if we put the 2 stacks of Kanthal wire, 2 stacks of aluminum foil, and liquid copper, after 15 seconds we will be getting our first coil of Kanthal. And there is it. Our first Kanthal coil. Now the only thing left is to replace the blocks. EBF, HV with Kanthal coils. Very nice. Fully upgraded EBF. Now this will allow us to make some silicone. Now, after 6 seconds, if we use this recipe here, regular silicone will take 30 seconds for us. 32 seconds. And that's how we get hot silicon. Now this one, just as Kanthal, we have to cool this one down. For now we are using chemical baths, but in the future we will be able to craft a vacuum but in the future we will be able to get a vacuum but in the future we will be able to craft a vacuum freezer, which will be better than using a regular chemical bath. That's how we get silicon. Silicon is important because it will allow us to make transistors in the near future, which we need to make our first HV circuits. But yeah, we've done a lot. And that will be everything for today. We've done a lot of things. I think the most important one was making this small benzene setup. As you can see, we are already starting to buffer benzene. And we are producing fairly quick all of this benzene. I managed to make it constant. So with copper nickel coils, 1 amp of MV, that is enough to support 4 MV extractors, which is enough to support 1 advanced distillery, which give us a lot of benzene. We are buffering a lot. In the future I would like to scale this one up and make it efficient. I don't think this is efficient at all. There are better ways of approaching this. For example, this only centrifuge. It should be able to provide enough nitrogen for a lot more of pyrolyzed ovens. And these 3 farms should also be able to provide with enough wood for more pyrolyzed ovens. So we can easily scale up all of this process and make it more efficient. As you can see right now, we are burning exactly the amount of charcoal that we are producing. So there is room for improvement. 14k buckets of benzene. And we've also got our first set of Kanthal coils for our only EBF, and also upgraded the EBF to HV. So yeah, we can do faster receipts, and we can also do some silicon, which is needed for the HV circuits. In the next episode, we will visit the Aether for the first time, in order to get Sanite especially. Maybe we will do some exploration, but mainly I want the Sanite, because I want to make the circuit assembler. Now I want to do it. Again, this will allow us to make cheaper circuits and faster circuits. We can do the HV circuits at LV, but of course MV will do all of the receipts quicker. So that's what we are looking. As always, if you're still here, thank you for watching. And I hope you have a better day, because it can always be better. And I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.